Let me ask you something. If I told you that a bald scalp, a completely shiny dome bald scalp, still contains every single hair follicle it ever had, would that change how you think about hair loss? Because that is not a metaphor. That is biology. And it is the reason scientists think, for the first time in history, that true reversal of baldness may actually be possible. Hair loss is one of the most common medical conditions on the planet. Over 1 billion people experience some form of it, and the most common cause, accounting for more than 90% of all cases, is something called androgenetic alopecia, pattern baldness. Now here's what most people don't know about it. Androgenetic alopecia does not kill your hair follicles. It miniaturizes them. Over years and decades, driven by a hormone called DHT, follicles shrink and progressively spend more time resting and less time growing, until eventually they just stop. They go dormant, permanently dormant, but the follicle is still there, under the skin, intact, just not getting the signal to grow. For 30 years, the treatment options have been the same. Minoxidil, which extends the growth phase. Finasteride, which blocks DHT. Hair transplants, which move existing follicles around, but can't create new ones. None of them reverse the biology. None of them wake up dormant follicles. Until now, potentially. The story starts at UCLA, where a team led by Dr. William Lowry spent nearly a decade studying the energy metabolism inside hair follicle stem cells. What they discovered, published in the journal Nature Cell Biology, was this. The transition between resting and growing is controlled by a metabolic switch. In a dormant follicle, the stem cells are running on what's called oxidative phosphorylation. They're burning fuel inside the mitochondria. In an active follicle, they've shifted to glycolysis, a faster pathway that produces lactic acid. And that lactate is a critical activation signal. Low lactate equals dormancy. High lactate equals growth. The hair cycle is regulated by a metabolic switch, and in baldness, that switch gets stuck in the off position. The key is a protein called the mitochondrial pyruvate carrier, or MPC. It controls how much pyruvate gets let into the mitochondria. If you block that carrier, pyruvate can't enter. It backs up in the cell and converts to lactate, replicating the growth signature. PP405 is a precise inhibitor of the MPC. It raises lactate, elevates the NAD+ to NADH ratio, and the dormant stem cells wake up. It was developed by Pelage Pharmaceuticals, backed by Google Ventures, and is administered as a topical gel. Critically, no PP405 has been detected in the bloodstream. The effect is entirely local. Your internal systems never see this drug. PP405 has completed Phase 1 and 2A trials. Phase 1 confirmed safety and proved the mechanism works in humans. After 7 days of application, there was a significant increase in Ki-67, a marker of cell proliferation. The cells were waking up. Phase 2A was a trial of 78 adults. 31% of men saw more than a 20% increase in hair density after 8 weeks. And this wasn't peach fuzz. This was thick, terminal hair growing in areas that had been bald. These early clinical results reinforce the potential to go beyond slowing loss and directly drive hair follicle regeneration. Phase 3 trials are planned for 2026. If successful, PP405 will be the first treatment that reverses hair loss by restoring biology. FDA review likely means commercial availability in 2028 or 2029. It's not here yet, but the science is real. The mechanism is clear, and the early data is the most promising thing the hair loss field has seen in 3 decades. Subscribe and follow for the full technical deep dive on the metabolic mechanism. Check the link in description for more. Visit unbedsidemanners.com for more stories and medical breakthroughs.